Working with fractions can be very straightforward as long as you follow some very simple rules. Make sure that you convert any mixed fractions into improper fractions. So don't work with numbers like 3.5, convert them to 7/2, for example. As with any number work, be careful with minus signs. This can really cause problems if you're not careful. Remember any BIDMAS rules. Make sure you deal with brackets before you deal with the divisions and multiplications and additions and subtractions and so on. And simplify your answers when you get to the end. Make sure they're the simplest fraction you can be working with. Don't leave it as 4/8. Make sure it's a half. As long as you do this, it's going to be very straightforward and easy to work with. You can only add or subtract two fractions if the denominators, the bottom number, are the same. So we can either do this by working out the lowest common multiple of those two numbers, or we can use a technique called cross multiplying. This always works. So let's try an example. 2/3 plus 1/5. We're going to cross multiply. So the first thing we're going to do is take the 2 times the 5 and put that on the top of our fraction. We have an addition here, so we're going to put the plus sign in after that. And then we're going to do the 3 times 1 on the top row again. And that's where the cross comes from. 2 times 5, 3 times 1. If you draw them out, there's a cross. Then on the bottom, we're going to put 3 times 5. Then we work out what these equal. So 10 plus 3 over 15 equals 13 over 15. And we know that this is in its simplest form because 13 is a prime number and can't be divided by any other number. Let's try another example. 1/4 plus 2/3. Again, we cross multiply. 1 times 3 on the top row. It's an addition, so we put in the plus sign after that and have 2 times 4. And then finally on the bottom we do the 4 times 3. Then of course we work out what these numbers equal, which gives us a 3 plus 8 over 12, which makes 11 over 12, 11 twelfths. And again, that's in its simplest form because 11 is a prime number. Subtraction is exactly the same as adding. You just have to take care with the subtraction sign. And this is always the place where people go wrong. We're going to use the cross multiplying method again. 6 over 7 minus 3 over 5. So we do the cross multiply, 6 times 5. And this is where we have to take care. It's a minus sum, so we put the minus sign in. Don't forget it. 7 times 3 goes in. And then on the bottom, 7 times 5. The only thing we've done different from the addition ones is to put the minus sign in the right place. On the top, this gives us 30 minus 21 over 35. And that equals 9 over 35. There's no number that goes into both 9 and 35, so that's in its simplest form. Another example. 7 over 9 minus 2 over 5. Again, we cross multiply. 7 times 5. And now, don't forget the minus sign. 9 times 2. And then on the bottom, we put in the 9 times 5. That gives us, we work those out, 35 minus 18 all over 45. So 17 over 45. Again, we know this is in its lowest form because 17 is a prime number. So very clear, cross multiply, don't forget the minus signs. If you have more than two fractions to add together or to subtract, then the quickest way of doing this is to do two of them first, get an answer, and then do the third one and get the answer. So do it in several steps. This avoids you having to worry about converting them into similar fractions before you start doing the addition and subtraction.